Alright guys, so as promised, I'm going to walk you through how to change the decimal places. Depending on how different the programs are going from a PC to a Mac, there might be some slight differences, but this is done on a PC, just so that you know. Hopefully it'll be very similar in the Mac. Alright, so pretty much what happens is that if you have cells, and by the way, let me click on cell A1, you'll notice that the value actually has 4 decimal places. Right now, Excel is choosing to display only 2 of those decimal places. This will not necessarily affect the equation of the line, but if you want to see all the values, you can drag, right click, left click, and then drag to um, basically select all of the values that you have written down. And over here under the Home tab, you have this 0.0, 0.00 arrow, and 0.00, and then 0.0 arrow. So if you click on the one that's pointing to the left, this increases the number of decimal places displayed. And of course, if you click on the one pointing to the right, that gets rid of the decimal places, right? But if you want to see more of them, then you can continue doing. And this will happen, it'll give you new values up until the point where you have run out of numbers entering to the cell. So by the time you keep going further to get more decimal places, at that point you just be a bunch of zeros, right? And at that point you probably don't need to worry too much about that. But this is how you will see the values with the proper number of decimal places in the actual columns. Now let's see what happens when we graph this, and let's address the issue of the trend line, which is the most pertinent issue. Alright, so if you go to Insert, click on the Scatter Chart, and choose the fully scattered plot, this is going to be your chart, right? And you might need to edit it, especially if I'm asking you to turn this into a PDF file that you need to upload to Canvas. But for the point of view of the trend line, if you right click on any of the dots, you should end up seeing this tab, this window. Go to Add Trend Line, select linear, and then select display equation, display the R value. And then you have the following equations here. Now I'm going to actually move this here to the left side. I'm going to go back to Home, and let me change the font to 14 so you can see clearly what's happening. Alright, so this is the equation. Now, as I have it right now, I actually set up my Excel to show 4 decimal places, which has a little bit more precision associated with it. But let's say that you don't have those 4 decimal places for either the intercept or the slope of the line. All you have to do is under label options. So this is still under the format trend line that I got, by selecting the linear plot. All right, so under the label options, so let's find them. Yeah, here we go. So this is the graph with the bars under label options in the format trend line tab, right? So here for the bar graph icon, you want to click on that. You see where it says number. Under category for number, you want to select number. And right now it's in general, but if you click on number, it will open up this new set of windows, which will basically allow you to change the number of decimal places. So let's say I want only 2 decimal places. Excel will only display 2 decimal places. If I want 5 decimal places, simply enter 5 into the decimal place window and press enter, and then it'll give you all those values. And then you can go with a higher precision, and at that point you basically just round up or down based on where you're stopping, so that you can enter the proper value on Canvas. Alright, so I'm going to do this one more time so that we make sure that everything is good. So I'm going to close the format trend line. I'm going to remove the graph, and I'm going to start from scratch. And I want to show you this time around that if I change the decimals here on the display on the actual columns, it will not affect what happens on the actual graph, because once again, even though this may only be showing 2 decimal places in the cell, if you click on a specific value, it will actually show you all the digits that you have input into the Excel file. Alright, now once again, right click on all the values to plot them. Make sure that Y is the second column, X is the first column. Go to Insert, click on scatter plots, choose the scatter one, right click on any data point, select add trend line, and when the menu opens up, what you want to do is select linear, display equation, display R value, and now we're going to switch over to one of the other ones and go back to the bar graph right here, right? Actually, it doesn't make much of a difference. Oh, that's because we haven't right clicked, right? Don't forget to click on the actual equation. If you don't do that, then nothing's going to change right here. But the moment you click on the actual trend line equation, then the number is going to pop up under the bar. So it's something to be aware of. Here, you want to change this to number, and manually you can change the decimal places to 3, 4, etc. So I'm selecting 4 right now, and there you have it, 4 decimal places. And in case this may be difficult to see, I'll go back to home, change the font, and I recommend that you do this especially when I'm asking you to upload the graph to Canvas, right? I want to be able to see that equation very clearly. And at that point, make sure to label your X, Y axis and your actual chart. All right, so this basically does it in terms of changing the decimal places. I think it should be the same for the Mac users, but if not, let me know. I'm gonna upload this video as well as a link that describes how to go about changing these things. So see you in the next video.